to business now with Nona Peltier, who's joined me in the studio. Nona, so have we had a festive season bounce in consumer confidence?
Well, it seems so, but it probably has a lot to do with interest rates and just people feeling a little bit more confident about their own position and the broader economic outlook. And also we had that was from the Westpac Confidence Survey this morning. We also had the ANZ Business Confidence Survey this afternoon, and it sort of implied similar, although businesses are still pessimistic. A net 13% of businesses expect conditions to deteriorate. However, they're more optimistic about their own outlook, and a net 17% expect better times ahead. They expect a higher staff, and it's the best level we've seen since April last year. So much more positive tone leading into the holiday season. Could be that, just could be the interest rates.
Okay, so you've got this think tank that, they're thinking that it's feasible to rebuild the railway line. This is between Wairoa and Gisborne, but Kiwi Rail has kind of rejected that previously. Yeah. So has something changed?
Well, yes, actually. What's changed is this wellness budget. So Burrell, which had a hand in developing that, also is the organization that developed this report for a rail trust based out of Gisborne. And they'd been calling for a similar sort of report for some time because they thought that it was actually feasible. And if you take the business case out of it, so if you don't make a business case for it and you just look at other indicators, social, cultural, environmental, and economic to the region, it makes a lot more sense. And in those parameters, Burrell's recommending that, it is a feasible. But they also said, this is not based on a business plan. That would be up to Kiwi Rail. Now, when Kiwi Rail looked at it back in 2012, they thought it would cost about $4 million to reinstate, but they stacked that up against what they would make, and including also the running maintenance on the line, thought it wasn't worthwhile. They wouldn't make enough off of it. And yet Burrell has come up with numbers of between 30 and 36 million to put it back into operation, and that includes $13 million to keep it up for the next decade, and thought it was still worthwhile. So that just goes to show, if you measure something against one set of measurements and opposed to a different set, you can get quite a different outlook.
Yeah, and depends also on how much weight you put on each of those measures,
exactly.
Whether they're equally weighted or you value some things higher than others.
Right, and this is a different way of thinking. We saw this coming through on the wellness budget. Now we're seeing it coming through in other kinds of reports. So it's interesting, but it's going to cost more. So we'll see whether or not that stacks up. And overall, the NZX Top 50 Index, it rose 0.33% today, 34 points up to close at 11,261. And our Kiwi is perked up a little bit, not much I'd say, 65.97. So that's just under 66 US cents, 95.8 Australian and 49.6 British pence. And that's mostly because people are now worried again about a hard Brexit exit.
Thanks, Nona. Nona Peltier with our business news.